Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. This is Horse Racing Manager. Early access version 0.6.4. Another big update. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. They've kind of solidified that during early access, they are keeping the price point now down to $24.99 instead of $29.99. And they still had the early introductory offer until yesterday, which is when they decided to keep their regular price point throughout early access at $24.99. So that's a really nice touch. Sadly, that does mean that when this video's live, the 15% off is no longer a thing. So you're not going to save a pound or two, but well worth it anyway. So go ahead, wishlist them on Steam, go check it out, go join the Discord, and get involved. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by this game if you haven't been already. Unless graphics are a major thing for you, that has been the only real thing that I've seen anybody complaining about. It's just the look of the game, and if that's not for you, it's not for you. I can see past it. Some people can't. I understand, but kind of want to be heads up on that. I know that is an issue for some people, so I'm not going to pretend like it isn't. So yeah, the update then, what happened, and it came out yesterday, is pretty much the update, the push for the last sale price of that introductory 15% off. So in different race registration, added information if your stable horse already are registered. So yeah, when you're going to register a horse for a race, now if you already have a horse in that race, it's added that information to probably the main race booking screen, maybe all of them. I'm not sure. We'll have to test and kind of see. But yeah, if you don't want to run multiple horses in the same race, because you can't win them all that way, then this is a nice way to do that, or know who you're going up against. So you can kind of, plan accordingly with this new information. The ability to choose how many new gens are added each year. So you can kind of decide how many new horses every single year are going to be born, basically. Wealthy NPCs will now occasionally make offers to buy shares in stables, including player stables, creating more natural ownership distribution across the game. That's kind of cool. Share trades in finance. You can see all the share transactions in the world. And yeah, the ability to lose control of your stable and get fired if you lose majority ownership. If you sell too many shares and you lose majority, you can get fired, which is crazy. Ability to create new stables, you go to player options, and ability to merge stables. Like, I brought this up in a game. Sorry, in a recording. I was just playing the game, and I looked at the shares and the ownership and things, and like racetracks. So I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if we could merge stables, and we get their staff and or their horses and or their racetracks, and or be responsible for their debt, and so many different permutations. But like, what would happen? Are they just a subsidiary? Are you basically playing as two stables at the same time? You have to make a choice which one you actually, go and manage. Can you only buy contracts? Can you only buy horses? Can you only buy race courses? Like, is it certain ways? Like, totally different business. But when WWE went and bought WCW, the two wrestling companies, um, in late 90s, early 2000s, like that huge rivalry that was going on between them, and when the successful one won that war and ended up buying out the loser of that war, they didn't buy all the company. They didn't buy a lot of the assets. They didn't buy the contracted people. They just didn't buy the contracts, basically. But many of the top people, what they did buy is the history and the tape library and stuff they could monetize and sell the history and the past, and they bought the name. And various sort of licenses and IPs and etc. So even if you're taking over and you're buying someone out, it might only be a partial. And like, there's all these sort of permutations. I was just thinking, like, wow, I wonder how it's going to be handled in this game. And I just kind of asked that question. Not really, I wanted something to work a certain way, but it's like, okay, well, how is it going to work? I'm really interested to see when we get there, because it's not fully in the game yet. And I mentioned merging, and well, no, there's an ability to merge stables. So, yeah, boy, they move quick. A small team, but is moving really quickly to implement everything. And I know they're working on, you know, getting harness racing more fleshed out. I know behind the scenes they're organizing a good community over on Discord, and that Discord is doing a lot of things, getting a lot of like the modded race schedules and stuff set in place, and getting all the information to that. That's a huge community project that they're not really doing, but they're setting up the space and monitoring that space to allow the community to build, to do all these masterful sort of things, which I love. And at the same time, there's a lot of quality of life fixes, a lot of optimizations. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't expect at early access. I, I'm really impressed by how such a small team is able to do so many things and do it quite well. Like they really do seem to be doing quite well with this, so I'm really impressed. And I'm really happy because it does mean ultimately we get a good game. You know, they get to achieve their vision, they get paid, all their hard work pays off, and they get to bring this to life and share this with us. And we get a really good game at a pretty good price point right now. Not as good as it was yesterday, but pretty good. And we get to have a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, once again, shout out to them, but I wasn't expecting to read these 4 words in a changelog anytime soon. And it just, stuff like this keeps going. Um, so, yeah, improved how, the CPU horsebuying works, facility building works. Now, default is to only have thoroughbred breeds when starting a new game, rather than all of them. So you have to select now which ones you want to put in. You had the ability, but it defaulted to all 4 types. And like the American Quarter Horse, the Akelteke, the Arabians, and the Thoroughbreds. Now it's just Thoroughbreds. And a lot of the world's racing, especially in Europe, is kind of Thoroughbred based. So that does make sense. Staff now gives reasons if they leave, and you can try and keep them. Something else that I mentioned offhand that, like, I don't know why my people keep leaving. I just got an email, they've already gone. I don't know why it is. Hey, no, we have that in game already. Again, just these offhand comments as I'm playing through the game, I'm like, huh, I don't understand this. They seem to get fixed really quickly. It's awesome. It just, oh, it makes me want to play the game so much more. In upcoming auctions, change the cards with the circle of the horse face to the project standard so the court colors work better. So, yeah, that kind of is cool. Just a little change in how things look and how they're formatted. Nice. Court DNA display format simplified. So it now shows the DNA rather than a bunch of extra symbols and letters and stuff. So it just looks better and reads better. Breeding preview should now show all relevant court genes, including Roman Flaxen, Rabicano, and Sooty. Oh. Huh. Okay. It's such a small thing, but like, yeah, there's certain coat patterns and colors of horses and whatnot that I like, and the fact that we can try and like breed those colors in and like specifically aim for a certain coat palette and like work your way towards it in game. I think is absolutely fantastic, and it's very realistic. It is very realistic too. That's what people do. Like, there's big money in horse breeding and all animal breeding because of stuff like that. That's awesome. Our live auction panels now respect theme colors. That's cool. Can only accept sponsorship once. Yeah, we did have multiple sponsorships on the same horse. Uh, Multiple horses with two sponsorships. Usually both of the same company, but not always, I think. It might have been always. I wasn't paying attention, but I can't confirm that. But that has now been fixed. So, sure. Core colors and stable detail view auction preview, and also the upcoming auction round portraits. Cool. We'll have to take a look at the upcoming auctions and take a look at how that changes there as well. CPU adds a prefix or suffix, adds space between the name and it. Yeah, I highlighted that one as well. We saw in our game there was a stable, I think it was CS or CU or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was no breaking between that prefix and the horse name, so it looked a bit dodgy. So yeah, we fixed that. Possible fix to illness and injury checks slowing down late game sims. Okay, nice. Change training fees calculation work in bulk fashion. Oh, so it'll be 30 times faster. Nice. So they're just taking things at the back end as well that are just slowing down the game. They're simplifying it. Great. Fame of horse now calculated based on career earning. This way, falls are not born legendary. Yes. Another thing I saw in my game and I highlighted was just so many, so many legendary falls in my barn. With no shareholder selected, hide, buy, and share and sell panels for the shares to make the UX cleaner. Another thing I highlighted, not for this reason, but I like the way that they've approached this. Because I went to the shareholder screen and the buy and sell and everything was there. And I tried to buy and sell and it wasn't working. I have to click on the person first, so I'm telling the game whose shares I'm trying to buy, even if they're the only one on screen. I figured it would just default to automatically select if there's only one person, automatically select that person. Instead, this even better solution, we just don't show those panels until you click on someone. It makes so much more sense than what I was thinking, but again, they're addressing just these minor little things that I've found that I'm not sure this is working as intended, or I'm not sure I understand how this looks and feels and plays, and it's phenomenal. We're buying horse in the market, immediately update stable cache. I hadn't noticed that one. But yeah, that's a really good one. Stable option, fix the panel to follow theme colors and fix coat color of top horse. Nice. So a bunch of graphical stuff. It looks like there's been a lot of work done on coat colors and DNAs. A little bit about breeding, a little bit of about how the CPU hires and buys horses, builds facilities. That's kind of cool. There are a lot of optimization stuff, which I really liked, and a bunch of stuff that I've highlighted in my last couple of videos, and they've all kind of seem to have been fixed. I'm trying to think. Give me a minute. I'm going to pause. I'm going to actually think for like 2 minutes. I'm going to go over what in my head needed to be fixed that I've mentioned and see if I can come up with anything that hasn't been done. I'll be back in a second view, but I'm going to take a couple of minutes of my own and just try and think through, because I don't actually think there is anything. Okay, I can come up with two things, very minor things. On the race day, we press W basically to advance to the next screen on everything, except when you're running a race. Like, W doesn't take you into the race. After the race, the continue button, W doesn't activate it, and so on. It just breaks for a small period in the game, the only place where W doesn't carry you through the screens when clicking in the top right corner in that continue button, etc. Like, yeah, it isn't there. So we need to test and see if that's there. The only other thing is going to be the obfuscation of staff abilities a little better. Because, yeah, having just this encyclopedic knowledge of all staff in the world and, having perfect knowledge of their entire skill sets without doing any kind of research, that would be the thing I would say for a difficulty curve that might be needed at times for a little bit more realism. Stuff like that could be super useful. And hey, you could definitely put that in with difficulties in the game, and yeah, you could have options to turn perfect staff scouting on or off. You could have perfect horse scouting on or off. There's a bunch of different ways you can handle it to give people options on how to play in different ways, and that's fine. I don't know how that's going to be done, or if it's going to be done, or if it's something anybody else wants. But yeah, those two things are about all I've got left from having played previously that stood out to me, and that's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. I'm actually going to create a new game because, yeah. Oh, these are all here now. That's cool. Cool. Okay. Well, we're going to generate random. So, Josiah Sykes, 1974. So, now you've got scenarios. I do think, again, there might, this is coming, but like, more information on what these scenarios are and what they represent. And even if not just numbers, that, breeding's 50% easier, your money will be this amount, etc. Like, just vague descriptions of those if you don't want to go into the nuts and bolts of it, I think we'll be fine. But tooltips, or like when I click that, maybe like a pop-up or something with the brief description, including numbers or not, hide the numbers behind a tooltip or something. It's up to you how you might want to do it, but I would think something like that would just give me an idea. Or what is the homeless version? The Hail Mary, the hardest worker in the room, not afraid to fall. If it does affect the game in any way, if it doesn't, I'm not sure why it's there, apart from flavor. And you can just say, does not affect game performance in any meaningful way, only for role playability and in-world flavor. But if it does, some idea as to why would be cool. I'm happy to do that though. We're just going to randomize. We're going to jump in. Yeah, the hats and hair issue is a lot better. It's not completely fixed. It does poke out a little too much in some that I don't think suits the type of hat. Harness racing, I know, is still being worked on. I'm going to go normal plus. We're going to turn on the custom schedule because I have put that file in. It's not fully working just yet, but, that is fine. The horse is on January 1st. I'll have all horses in. All this is good. Yeah, see, now I have changed the font size, and so this UI does not scale. This horse size does not scale. So I'm guessing this is just for adding new horses in that don't come through breeding pair, just random adding new horses in. I'm not sure. All I know is I can't actually see everything. Oops. On size 18. There you go. So this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to all fit on one screen. So this is something that also will need to be scalable. I mean, it's not bad. It's a little bit too small a text. I do like bigger text, and 18 is kind of a much better size for me. I kind of like that. So new horse will be generated. Yeah, we'll put some on. That's fine. Um, leave all those where they are. That's all fine. Next. Uh, yeah, sorry, that's fine. Majesty Whisper's fine. Auto training. Yeah, for this auto training, it's absolutely fine. And let's see how easy, how quick, how smooth this all seems to generate, because it does seem faster. I'll give it that. It does seem faster. So the history, not so much, but it's actually got to play through the days. And so, yeah, there's a lot of calculations, but like generating all the horses and the stables and the racetracks and generating the entire world, I would say is probably 3 to 4 times quicker from what I've seen. Let me just come back when this is done. It shouldn't take too long. And okay, that was kind of quick. So, all good. I think that's the same email we've always had. We draw some money. Apparently, we're negative cash because we are homeless. I guess that makes sense. I mean, maybe that's all it does. Maybe. Yeah, I'm probably going to want to do a bunch of the training stuff, right? I think so. If nothing else, breeding. And then onto the market, and we can see there's nothing we love. This one's not bad. A little low speed, but everything else is not too bad. Okay, horse auctions. And I guess all these are better to display the courts. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Don't mind that. Is there any horses that I might actually want to buy at one of these auctions? Here we go. A couple of young fillies, potentially, who might be worth it. I think we'll go to that auction and we'll see who is actually actively trying to be sold right now. Well, yeah, we do have a bunch of horses here who don't look bad. That's a new market tag that we've seen. Um, yeah, okay. Could be some okay pickups early. Nothing like super crazy. I mean, this is so low. This is so low scouting knowledge that I don't know. I have seen horses dip by like up to 2.5 stars, so this could be almost anything. This could be almost anything at all. Okay. I mean, it's interesting though, right? It's tempting. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna buy horses, maybe that's the way to do things. Go 1.3, and let's find some horses that we're also willing to take risks on, like Drift Aphrodite. And see kind of what we can get. You know, maybe 1-1. That'll be 2.4 million. That could put us in good place. I mean, there's a good young horse here for 1.4. So up to 3.8. I've definitely paid that for one good horse multiple times. So if there's a chance we can get all three of those, that'll be good. All different ages, all kind of around the same age though. A colt and a couple of fillies. That could be the start of our barn. That could be the start of our barn. Is it going to change if I set anything else up? No, it doesn't look like it. So yeah, we could, continue on and add in extra people there, but I think that's fine. Okay, so we got an auction to go to. Absolutely fine. That does seem to be the way of doing things. I didn't even check what we're good at. Apparently we're good at scouting, which I don't think matters. Farrier, which isn't in the game. Veterinary, which I don't think matters, because we can't do any of these, I don't think. Um, but at least we are a pretty good jockey. We're an absolute abysmal trainer, and we just don't understand how to be a stable hand at all. Um, we show up, we feed a sugar lump or a quarter of an apple, and we go away and let people who know what they're doing do the work. Okay, kind of cool. I will also say that no racetracks found. Oh, okay. Is it now something that we can add? Is that something that might be an idea? Because yeah, we are holding a lot of value in shares. If we need money, that could be something to do. Oh, merge stables, select stables, merge. So when we own different stables, we can merge them through this screen. That's kind of cool. I'm just gonna say 100K. We're gonna give ourselves 100K from the business account. We're managing the stables, but we borrowed 100K. Pretty much our wages up front. We'll pay that back maybe later on if we can. Um, But yeah, that gets us out of debt. I'm not going to mess about with any of these for right now. I think we're going to go to the auction and see kind of what that's like. I'm going to unmute the game because as part of the fun of the auctions, it's the fact that they're fully voiced. And so there we go. We've got all this information now. We've gone through and done what it's asked of us, basically. So that's fine. It looks like, okay, a nice spread, at least different places winning. Not all from the same stables. And then we don't know who any of these are, but we don't really care either. And then we are at an auction. And let's take a quick look at these three and see.
Well, excitement builds as we introduce this future champion. We got movement on the floor. Who'll respond? Who'll step up with confidence? Come on. A strong show of interest. They mean business. All right, let's give a round of applause for our successful bidder. Well, our bidder isn't backing down. He's going to go again. Stakes are rising. Who's feeling lucky? And let's raise the stakes.
I'm not sure how much I want this horse and how much I'm willing to actually bid.
Come on, 7-7. Going twice, going twice, going twice. Who'll step up with confidence? Come on. Twice, twice. Final opportunity. Better come on. Once more, once
I kind of said in my head,
second call,
I didn't really want to go above 500k.
Well, the stars didn't align today, and this specimen remains unsold.
So,
unfortunately, no new home today.
I mean, we met the reserve, so it does get a new home. So yeah, the voice lines for the auctioneer are also a little jacked up in that they don't all kind of work. We said about successful bidders when the auction isn't finished, and also, you know, no new home and stuff when we have actually successfully bought the horse. Says no reserve. I just don't know if this is super worth it. Kind of had 800k as my limit in this, so we are underneath it. And just based on the buyout price, I didn't want to go that close to it.
Do I see a hand from our esteemed patrons?
Okay, we've gone to auction. We bought a couple of horses. This one isn't super super expensive either. It's just a year old. I think we got a 2-year-old and we got a 5-year-old stallion. Unless I've kind of missed it. Ooh, this is going up quite quick.
Final opportunity. You better get in. You better come on. Well, a future legend.
It's a little bigger, but we can see our cash is decreasing with each bid.
Who's feeling lucky? Come on, bargain hunters, where are you? Oh, the stakes are rising. Who's feeling lucky? Hey, we got a number to beat. Now, who sees the
I
value
did
here?
not mean to put 10%. I meant to do the minimum. That just flew up.
Speed and stamina combined in this prospect.
Terrible. Terrible. But okay. We have our horses. Looks like they both do get races. So yeah, this 1-year-old that might be good, might not be good. Their top end value is pretty much what we paid. So it's not the worst in the world. It's definitely not the best though. And then Lola, we got at a decent price. That's our 2-year-old filly. And then a 5-year-old stallion that we actually got for under 500k. So, yeah, I don't mind that. I think that's fine. we got all our horses in place. I am going to want to do everything I can to help them right now. And let's have a look at the staff and try and figure out what we want to do here. We do want a good jockey. We don't want to pay for them. Again, the ages of some of the jockeys and other kind of positions, I feel, don't make a ton of sense sometimes. I mean, then again, we are a good jockey, so we don't really need to worry about it. Blythe's okay. Yeah. Let's get her in. There we go. We've locked in our first hire, Blythe, to train our horses. 550k right there. And really just stable hands will be super useful. So Josephine, 100%. Let's go. And get her for 35k a year. And that's about all I really want to do, or all I need to do with them for right now, because I mean, we can train, but we are absolutely terrible. We can be the stable hand, but we are absolutely terrible. But by God, can we ride a horse? So, yeah, Blythe trains them. Josephine takes care of them. I show up on race day, steal all the glory. Job done. Love that. Yeah. Yeah. Do I need to pin anybody? Not really, but we will anyway. We'll have our non-racers because they're too young, and we'll just focus here on that. So, okay, we got our breeding potentially to start. We'll have to figure out how that all works. And we can't breed with game breds anymore, which is fine. I'm not sure if it's meant to be that way or not, but right now it is that once again. And we have got everything kind of set up. We did auto book the races. Like I say, I don't mind that. I think that's all good. Yeah, a bunch of horses here that are kind of crazy. Not amazing breeding so far. I wanted to just see where those bloodlines were. We do have horses coming in, of course, and then we might have to get more staff because I believe I'm buying 3 horses and I've got 3, and that means that one of them won't be able to be trained or be stable-handed or be ridden in that way, because yeah, if that makes sense. We'd have 6 horses and everybody can only do 5 things. So okay, Violet Allen Poe, Harbour Town Rustic River, and Drift Aphrodite. And again, we're just gonna pin everybody here. And then I'm gonna put them in the breeding. I'm not gonna fully check the breeding, but I do want to see kind of what this is like. So there you go. It's got EA for the Blizzard Desert Rose, and it's got the capitalized for Drift Aphrodite there, so we can see our breeding pairings. And these tooltips don't seem to work, but Bay Frame 20%, Bay 27, and the Bay Appaloosa is 33% chance. So cool. Looks like a bunch more actual information here on the screen, so that's really nice. It's fleshed out. It's looking good. I really don't mind that. And we could breed them, but we're not going to right now. We're going to wait. They are going to race. That's absolutely fine. I turn these on. We can see they do switch positions, but yeah, we don't know how good they are. We kind of know BDR. It looks okay. It does look okay. Yeah, I like the home screen. I do, and that's pretty much everybody. Maybe that will be able to race has got their races booked out, so I don't mind that. And it is auto, so that's good. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I need to check out right now? I think if we go into, say, stables, and we look here, um, it does look like they're heavily in debt. So maybe, yeah, see this bar's all hidden, and we click on it, and then it shows up. I like that. Yeah, they are heavily in debt. They're not doing too badly. Is there a way we can do something about this and like take the take an arena off them? First last, very close to me in real life. Very close. England is not correct. That's Wales. Okay, we're highlighting this. We are highlighting this, by the way. Just yeah, this is wrong. This is wrong. I want to make a point of it. This is wrong. This needs to change. So racetrack in Wales, not England. Oh, that's so triggering. Not not as much for me, but like for other people, it'll be majorly triggering. It's just annoying to me. But yeah, um, okay, we need to be careful on those kind of things. We need to be careful on those kind of things. But let's move on. This, let's move on. Yeah, low prestige. Okay, so participant, the owners of a few places. Okay, um, can't create races still. Cool, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Don't think there's anything else we need to look at there. So let's go to the race. We got Clover Lola, a 2-year-old filly. Our first runner in this. She's a 1,600 meter. 1,600 miles would be nuts. 1,600 meter in a 1,500. Yeah. Let's, it's a bad start from us. But that's me, not the horse. And the horse is forging clear under pressure from Garnet Leonardo's on the block. But we power out. And there we go. Clover Lola does take this little juvenile and takes it well. Not the best to start from us, but one horse bought, one race ran, one race won. 8K in our pocket. 100 more of those, and she'll have paid her purchase price. Now, she's costing 20 grand a year, so we definitely need more. With proper training, she can become truly special. I mean, is that 3.5 stars? Is that 4-star? Is it more? I don't know how much I read into that. Is that based on any of that staff's stats? And okay, if I press W, yeah, this continue screen. Like, there's no W here. That's a ship. Because now, as soon as we're out of that part, the post-race stuff, we can press W, and we do get the message screen and then the race screen. So that all works as expected. I will say I am a little bit of an idiot here because I didn't really, you know, set everyone up. And yeah, there's going to be, one horse that is not kind of taken care of. Do I want to go 3 and 3? I might want to go 3 and 3, you know. I might want to go 3 and 3. Did I turn on? I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, automatic training must have been on. So, okay. Trying to figure out how I'm setting this up. That's fine. Absolutely fine. Okay, let's go hire new staff then. So I'm going to want one of each. I'm going to want one of each again. So unemployed, trainer skill. Hudson. Hudson will be okay with younger horses. He will come in. That's fine. Best unemployed jockeys. It's Faye. Don't really know how I feel about that. Um, but I guess we'll put in a 60-year-old woman on the horse. And then Brian. Oh, I misclicked. It's supposed to be 40. And I thought I'd do it a little bit cheaper. And then that didn't work out, but okay. That's fine. So now I've got all of you set up. Brian can handle them. And Faye can ride those three. Everything's set up in a good way. So yeah, that's not a racing horse. Everything else is. Those are the only breeding age horses, really. I guess that at the end of the season could, but we got nothing to breed him to. So that all looks okay. Cool. And then we can go to race. We can see Violet, Alan Poe. A little juvenile as well. 1600 and a 1500. We could be okay. We look like we might be a good horse. And yeah, a little bit of a poor start, kind of hurting us here. Kind of trying to get up into second place. Just about get there. The horse that was in second dropped back, and I thought we were going to get them. Then they leapt forward, and we're kind of lucky that the horse in front ran out of stamina and misjudged it. We ended up taking second. I do feel with a better start, that could have been a win for us. That could have been a win for us. I got no idea, though, because I did just book the jockeys. Maybe because it was a pre-booked race, but I don't know why we had a bad jockey on her. Maybe because it's the day of the race. Maybe it's because it was already booked and we didn't change and we can't change. And the same will happen here as well. So, okay. Much better start. Absolutely flying out. Now, our stamina is going to hurt a little bit. So we're going to try and get back a little bit of stamina. Just to make sure we can sort of pull away again at the end of the race. And then we're going to back off and just... Woo! Just about win. that was dangerous. And it was dumb. But I kind of wanted to do it. And I did. And we won. So that's all fine. So yeah, Violet should have won and didn't. And Blizzard probably should have won and did. And that does now mean that we have our first grade winner here. Love that for us. So only a domestic grade 3. But good enough. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think the game runs very smoothly. I think it's definitely moving in the right way. A lot of the pins that are being put up now make a lot more sense to me, and I think they're a lot more useful, and the training and everything else. It just looks a little cleaner. It plays a little faster, and the functionality is a little better too. I don't think that's bad at all. So, hey, it's a nice patch, some nice updates. The auctions also got a bit of work and the court DNA. So, yeah, I think that's kind of cool. We got the saving icon still in the bottom corner. But I think overall, pretty good update. And with the stables and shares kind of being worked on in the background with the AI a little more, and being able to play about with that, and they'll be able to merge our stables at the end of the day, and being able to create a racetrack and or buy a racetrack from its owner. Like I think that whole side of the game could be really cool, being bought out and being basically homeless, unemployed would be mad, but that can happen if you sell too many shares. So I really like that as well. And you basically then have to go and try and hope you've got enough savings and go and either buy more shares so that you can like buy someone else out and take over, or just create a new stable from scratch and try and build your way back up. So, like the role playing scenarios and everything else, the possibility for it is quite good, to be fair. There's a lot of ins and outs you can do, as well as the general modability that is in the game. I think it could end up really cool. So, yeah, this has been Horse Racing Manager 0.6.4 in early access. But yeah, it doesn't really feel too far away from being like a release game right now. I think that's the beauty of some early accesses. They do play that way early on. And I think the ones I go to, like RimWorld, The Escapists, and especially Prison Architect, they've all kind of got similar ways that their trajectory went, and very, very playable from an early stage, and only got better over time. But I think if jumps racing was in, and if a realistic race schedule, which, as I say, the community is working for, and when it's properly implemented, that will probably be as much of the game as I need to be built to enjoy and justify the price tag. And to think that there's so much more coming on top of those, which are big things, 100%. One a little bigger than the other for sure, for the wider world. One more personal to me. But yeah, I think it's definitely shaping up to be something spectacular. And the work they keep putting in, the way they keep doing things, I think is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I just encourage you, go join the Discord, go wishlist the game. Thanks to Cheap Meadow Road Games for continuously updating and taking my feedback and other feedback on board. And like I say, I think we're making a fantastic game. So I'll see you next time. Till then, take care, stay safe, all the very best. I've been Chris. This has been Horse Racing Manager. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the playlist and the memberships available on the channel. And I'll see you all very, very soon for more racing fun.